I am absolutely not sure what happened. Um, an alert came on my phone or something, and then it just disappeared. So I apologize for that. But Yana, are you back? Can you hear me?
I can. I'm weak because I was talking and I looked down and it was gone. And I was like, damn, I actually said some smart shit. Just I,
Well, we can pick
I
right.
was talking to myself like, oh shit,
We
that
can
was really
pick
smart of
right
me.
back up. We can pick right
Hmm.
back up. So you were talking about, in regards to experience and having been here before, and we were specifically on the Connecticut and Indiana series. You're talking about Stephanie White and coaching, etc. So go ahead.
Yes. So, with Sides, I think it's important to remember that Sides was someone who didn't want to be a head coach. No shade to her, but she did not want to be a head coach, right? And so you gotta wonder, like, how much preparation she's had to be in these type of situations, especially since she hasn't been practicing to be in these situations, right? Because it was something she never really wanted. But also, like I was telling my friend, we're talking about series here, and these coaches, a lot of these coaches for the top teams, been there, done that. You got to play chess. We're playing chess here. There's a lot of things that coaches don't reveal during the season that you kind of got to prepare for. Like, for example, you mentioned Dejanay was guarding Caitlyn the entire season, right? And so just when you think you got to figure it out and you're practicing for it and you're like, all right, Dejanay is going to be on you. We've kind of figured out that kink. Let's work on this. Let's work on that. They switch it up on you and they put DB on you. And this is a defender you haven't seen on you all season. And so I was listening to another spaces and people were like, DeWanna Bonner isn't quick. Why can't she get past her? And it's like, DB might not be fast on the feet, but she's long as shit. And she knows how to use her body. Her wingspan is ridiculous. So you think you got past her, but you ain't get past her because now she gonna block your shit. So, and if you're not prepared for that or you haven't practiced against that, those are things that you have to be able to adjust to on the fly. And so now Christy Sides has to adjust on the fly and her team has to be able to take her adjustments on the fly too in order to make these changes because it's playoff time and people are playing chess. It's the same thing we saw and we'll talk about with Seattle and Vegas, but Becky was playing chess to Noelle playing checkers low key. Like Nneka been cooking Vegas all season. And Becky been holding in her pocket that double team. Send that double team to Nneka. And she didn't send that shit till halfway through the third quarter. And Seattle offense halted. They had nothing for it. They could not figure it out. And that's a part of the playoffs and the series. What coach can get the best out of their team and make the adjustments that they need? And I don't think Indiana as a whole is there yet. So I wasn't surprised at all about the results. I knew it wasn't going to be tough. No shade to them.
Okay, Shay, low.
I mean, that playoff bump is different. Like, it's different when you playing people that was just at the Olympics or was just in Cancun and they coming back trying to get through the season and shit. Versus now it's winning time. The money is on the line. And I mean, obviously you would think they would make more shots because they were, Kelsey and Caitlyn were terrible. Like, it was horrendous. But yeah, man, I think the DB wrinkle was really good. I think game two, she'll probably alternate between the two so Caitlyn doesn't get comfortable on one or the other. And shit, I mean, good luck figuring it out. I do think Connecticut has to win game two, though. You cannot let this shit go to Indiana.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, you
absolutely.
definitely can. And Lexi Hole has to find a way to stay on the court. If Indiana has any chance of winning a game, Lexi Hole has to be on the court. She's their only consistent perimeter defender. And when she got in foul trouble, Connecticut was able to start making their run because she's like the only one you could really put on Mabry to hopefully kind of slow her down when she's hot like that. And she was just in foul trouble.
Yeah, speaking, so I think that's another person we need to speak of. I know, I think it was maybe you, Yana, like when the trade happened. I know several people, there were some people saying, oh, well, maybe he's not going to do much for them. But then I think it was you who mentioned that that could be a very important piece for them later on down the line. So maybe he had a really good game for the Sun. I guess talk about her impact.
But can I ask you a question before you get started, Yana? What sense does it make to say that Mabry wouldn't do nothing for the Connecticut Sun when one of
Exactly.
the Connecticut Sun's issues is shooting,
Mm-hmm.
and Marina will only have to focus on shooting? Like,
I
Mm-hmm.
I'm
think
sorry.
people were more angry that she left Chicago, and Chicago, well, she wasn't consistent in Chicago. She was very streaky. And so they're just like, and she can't play any defense and she's going to be awful. But I don't think people factored into like the idea of what you're saying and that all she has to do is shoot. That's it.
No
She
ball
only got
handling
one job in
responsibilities, no
Connecticut.
facilitating or
Right.
anything. Just
She
shoot.
just one job. Shoot. That's it.
And then when you think about it, to me, that's a power move because so many people, we talk about it all the time, especially in the W, had this energy like, oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm gonna do this, even if their time has passed to be doing shit like that. Marina said, you know what? I don't want to be no leader to the kiddies. I don't want to have to do this and this. I want to take my ass and shoot the damn ball. Okay, that's real. We need more of that. To be honest, we need more.
More people that know their role, know what not they want to do, and just cool.
Mm-hmm. I
Can
think that
I ask?
basically sums it
Because
there.
y'all might be smarter than me. What is the Nalissa can't help this team at all? Is that what Christy believes?
I think she just got it made up in her mind that she not fucking with this. They don't fuck with her because she definitely can.
Okay.
Because
I
I
agree.
don't.
She could definitely do better than what Timmy did yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't think like every time Timmy got the ball she was either getting her shit rocked by Dejanay. Shout out to Dejanay and the celebration. That shit I don't watch that celebration like so many times every time it come across my timeline. Um but Timmy was getting her shit rocked or she was turning the ball over. Like Nalissa definitely could have given them something. But
Yeah.
I don't know what's going
And
on with
then
that
Lisa
situation.
did I mean she did have some muck ups when she was in the game, but she got that little block on AT. I think Alyssa is a better matchup on AT than Timmy. But
Yeah.
I think it's just made up in their minds that Alyssa is just not it. I
Cause
just
they
think
don't really play her through her mistakes either. Like
nope.
everybody's making mistakes. Kelsey Mitchell was dribbling the ball off her foot. Kaylin was turning it over or taking terrible shots. Aaliyah had some bad plays. Timmy had bad plays. I think Dances was probably the only one that kind of played within herself and just took, the wide open shots that were there. But Nalissa, she made one bad play and it was like, get out. You're done. We don't see her again for the rest of the game. So, and it's been that way for a little minute now. They don't really let her play through her mistakes like everybody else.
So, who is there any potential X factor that you think that they could pull out?
X Factor, who? Indiana?
Mm-hmm.
I think Dantes was theirs this game.
Mm-hmm. I don't
Um
think I've seen her miss a three all season.
Maybe they could do something with they could get Katie Lou open, but she's just so bad on the other end that I think she's a ooh, I don't know, she could go in there.
Lexi Hole, she gonna be, her offense
But
has to
see,
be the
oh, okay, her
differentiator.
offense. Her offense. Somebody said, oh, they need their goddamn defense. That
Like
can't be no X Factor.
when they were on their run and they were really killing it when they got back from the Olympic break, Lexi Hole was shooting above 40% from the 3-point line. Like she was a sniper. And it's gone down a little bit since then. I don't know how she did. I don't know what it was in the last game, but if she can start knocking down some threes, those corner threes and stuff like that again, that will help them tremendously. But right now the focus has really been on stopping Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin. And when Lexi was hooping, it was like three snipers around the perimeter that everybody had to defend individually. But now people have gone back to helping off of Lexi.
Mm. Okay, well, that game two for the Connecticut Sun and
Oh,
India.
can I just say,
Yep, go ahead.
uh, I am weak at that being the only game on ABC for the
Mm-hmm.
reasons that we know it was on ABC. And Connecticut put belt to ass on
Yes, they
ABC.
will.
I enjoyed the fuck out of that. I don't care, but I got a good laugh out of that because That's disrespectful to me. Um, to put that as the only game on ABC. And we know why they did that. And yeah, so it was fun for me.
Every time they try to, what's the thing about a clown? Clown come back to bite, something like that. That's what it was. So they have an extra day between their next game, so they will play on Wednesday along with the next game that we're going to discuss, the Lynx and Mercury. So at one point, the Mercury were down by 20 plus, and they came back, took the lead briefly, and ended up not being able to convert in the final stretch of the game. What did we see from that game that we liked, and what did we also see that we were like, what the fuck?
Y'all, as a whole, I guess I know why, because of everything she's been through. But y'all don't give BG enough hell for me. BG is too good. Y'all, we talk about Camilla, don't do this. We talk about JJ, don't do this. But BG has the ability to be too dominant, is too good to ever be out there looking like as silly as she does. 8 points and 2 rebounds at the end of the third quarter is not cutting it. I'm not sure, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way. This is not towards her personally, but as when we talk about hoops, because I know y'all like that. Oh, that's so disrespectful. She's been through this and this. No, we talking about hoops. That is embarrassing. She needs to do better. I don't care. Like it's enough time for giving her grace when we talk about hooping. Like BG, the girlie is 6. However, she had a damn near MVP season one season. She didn't win, but she was really good. Like
Mm-hmm.
she it it no, y'all. I'm sorry. Like no, I'm not sorry.
Especially versus an undersized
Come on now.
Minnesota. Like, even
Like
Camilla was getting her rocks off versus Minnesota.
BG's
like
never averaged double figure rebounds in her career.
I'm like and I'm really I'm not trying. I know how y'all girlies get. Like I'm not being mean. I'm not. This is not anything towards her personally. You know what I mean? But BG got to do better, y'all. Like come on, y'all.
I think the
Like
season you're referring to was that 2021 season. And she was almost 21 points a game, 9.5 rebounds, two and some change assists, like very good, 1.9 blocks, and it just never. That was the finals year, the year they went to the finals, and she had a really great season that
yeah,
year.
like
And,
come
but
on.
it's for some reason it's like I don't know if it's effort.
I
She,
think it's effort.
yeah.
And
Yeah, I think it's
oh,
effort
go ahead.
sometimes. There have been games this season when you can tell when she's like locked in and she
Uh-huh.
really is like, every basket is mine. They can't guard
Uh-huh.
me. You give me the ball right now because I'm finna go to work. And then there's other
Mm-hmm.
games where it's just like, I'll just set this screen.
It is so frustrating. But other than that, we talked about it before. I hate that Natasha be down there guarding four sometimes, but she had a really, really good game. So shout out. She
Hmm.
kept them in there. If it wasn't for her,
Hmm.
if it wasn't for her, child. Oof.
Natasha Mack also had a really solid
Good
stretch
moments,
as
yeah.
well.
I
Yeah.
think and I think when I see her out there hooping and I'm seeing them getting usable minutes out of her, I'm like, it's no way LA should be playing. Back to that, I'm sorry, I'm still not over it. I'm still not. But yeah, and Minnesota is just a machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually surprised at how high scoring the game was. Like, Minnesota is one of the better defensive teams in the league, so I was kind of shocked that Phoenix put up 95 on them. A lot of that had to do with Natasha Cloud. Like, she was knocking down threes and DT was knocking down threes. Um, that Phoenix gotta chill with they just whine too much.
Hmm.
Even throughout the game, when they went on runs, it'd be like, oh, Phoenix is about to go on a run. And then DT would think she'd get fouled, whether it's a foul or not. You already see the refs are calling the game a certain way. They're letting physicality go. And she'd be down the court arguing with the ref, and her team is playing 5-on-4 versus a team that got 5 people on the court that can shoot the damn three ball. So, like, they stretched and they ended up getting threes off of it most of the time. Anytime, a Phoenix player was on the other side of the court worried about a foul, And to me, that killed their momentum a lot. Like, I don't want to blame the refs for the loss. I do think down the stretch, the refs made some terrible calls, but I do think there's a lot of things Phoenix got to clean up on their end, like the whining, the, like, laziness of getting down by 24. This isn't the first time they've gotten down by so much in a game, and they've had to fight their way back this season. It's happened multiple times this year. It's a lot they themselves have to clean up before the next game.
Because they've shown that they have the ability to come back and sometimes win those games, but like you mentioned, the attitude can sometimes be their biggest hindrance.
Yeah, when you trying to score up on Rakia, your shit get a little, you not concentrating. Your mind get a little fuzzy. They gonna be like, the one thing that Phoenix can do that the Fever can't is Phoenix is like, we've been here. All of us in the starting lineup have played in the finals or won the championship. We can flip the switch and be like, all right, we trying to fucking hoop right now. The problem is though, and Nakia's asked an interesting question about, is Fee better than Stewie now? I'm paraphrasing. And I'm not a believer yet, but a 38 piece in 40 minutes yesterday, god damn.
Free
That's
throw
why when
merchant. Ain't that what the
that
girlies say? Free throw merchant.
yeah. That's why when I know it kind of Stewie is good. She's gonna be good, and her, like I said, at 75% is a lot better than a lot of people at 100. But when that dude, I can't remember his name, came out with that article that was like, are her best years behind her? I don't think I disagreed. But she's just so fucking good that she's still that girl. But maybe just as she getting older, maybe
No,
it's all.
I think you're right. I think she has like the Deladon thing where it's like
Uh
her
huh.
best years may be behind her, but like even
She's still that
her
bitch.
She's
down
still
years, right?
better.
It's like you
She's still
still not
better than
fucking with me.
most.
Yeah.
So it don't matter.
Yeah,
Because
it's
Yeah,
just
cause like,
this.
I mean, cause I answered Nakai's question cause I was like, I think Fee's catching up, but I wouldn't say she's surpassed her because even when you look at just their basic stats alone, like if you take out the season that the teams had and stuff like that and impact, Stewie's stats are damn near identical to Fee's right now. I just think
So
Stewie didn't have a Stewie year. And so I think, cause I was talking to someone and they were like, well, Stewie's usually like this. And I'm like, yeah, but y'all gotta realize Stewie's been head and shoulders above damn near every player in this league and just going back and forth with Asia for the last couple of years. So her down year, her down year is a really good fucking year. It's just not Stewie type of year, you know? And when you look at it that way, like Stewie's actually having a pretty damn good year. It's just
so
cause even in
why isn't there a hard push for her to get MVP then like Fee?
that's a good question. See, I was gonna bring that to the timeline, but I was like, you know what? Age already got it in the bag. I'm not arguing with y'all folks no more. But dead ass, I challenge everybody to go look at the regular season stats between Stewie and Fee. They damn near identical. Literally.
and so do we think that there's anything that anyone else, as I asked about the last X Factor, do we feel like there's someone sitting on Phoenix bench that could give them an extra push, maybe increase minutes for Celeste or
Ain't Celeste nose broken? Did it?
Yeah.
Somebody said it
oh
was broken.
yeah,
Is
she
it?
might
Is it officially broken? Like, is that official?
she
I don't
did
know.
it
I
right.
saw that too.
I think they need to give Kiki can knock it down from outside,
That's
and I
true.
don't think she scored yesterday.
No, she didn't.
But I feel like Mo Billings be having some better games too, but she didn't
Yeah,
do
she didn't
great.
have a good game yesterday.
She didn't. She didn't. But I feel like if she could do a little decent, cause she about the size of all of the Minnesota girlies, she could figure it out. That
Yeah,
might
Kyle
help.
also
They,
didn't play well,
oh
fresh
yeah,
off injury, so Kyle can actually she'll be
Oh
better.
yeah. She kind of got cooking like what's that, the fourth?
yeah, because she
Yeah.
been on like a 7-0 run or 8-0 run
Uh-huh.
herself.
Yeah.
And
Maybe Kiki get
then
her revenge
Carl went
against
on a
Cheryl.
run. Carl went on a run, and then they said, let's play through BG, who only has like 8 points. But
Literally.
it's like, yeah, we'll go through BG instead, and BG proceeded to give absolutely nothing.
Can
So
I ask, like, why do she do? And I'm like Lois saying, we just talking hoops. She does this thing where she can't go to the other side. Like am I tripping with BG act like she can't shoot with her other hand?
I don't. We
Nah,
just
there was like one play where she was backing, I think Hines Allen down, and literally, if she just did like a drop step, she would have literally just had, like, it was right there. Like, all she had to do was go to her right. But instead, she did like a fadeaway spin into her left where the double team was. And that's where she got that little charge against Courtney Williams. Like, it was
probably.
literally right there. She liked that little fadeaway shot. I don't know why. Like, take it to the rim. You are 6'8", 6'9". The tallest person on Minnesota is like 6'2", 6'3". What are we fading away for? What? Why? That don't make sense.
That's very
But
true.
shout out to Bridget Carlton
Yeah,
because Bridget Carlton has made some of the clutchest buckets I've seen this
in just
year.
in just a week.
Yes. She, man, she be hitting the most important buckets
Is
for
she
them.
up for a renewal? Let's see. Get my
That
computer
I'm
fired
not
up
sure.
because she gonna get
But
paid if she's earned it. I mean, to be honest, a lot of people on that roster have earned significant bonuses because
honestly, their roster is so good that to me, I just think they need a bigger person, like someone tall, just a little bit taller.
yes,
But,
I wonder how they'll do without.
I'm trying to
I
think. Wait,
think
I want to
Minnesota
guess.
works. I think Minnesota works in Minnesota. I think it works. They are all,
Hmm.
I like I said, I couldn't find a better word, so I'm gonna say it. They're all role player esque. They just know their role. None of them are like super big names. They just get in, do what the hell they gotta do, get out, and I think that works in Minnesota. I wonder how good they would look apart from that, though. You know?
So I got a
and that's
question.
why I think that they should stick around. Like,
Stay,
I
yeah.
think even
I
if
wouldn't
if
leave.
they don't win this year, this is a team where I could see some players doing like a lot of Vegas players do, where they take a pay cut to stick together because they've
Hmm.
built a foundation that
Yeah,
works for them. And then you find pieces that can fit that, maybe to fit a missing piece that you didn't have last year or something like
yeah.
that.
So
Cause a lot of these
Carlton.
players weren't playing well at their other organizations,
Exactly,
but now
exactly,
they're
exactly,
thriving.
exactly. Yep, yep, yep.
So now you talked about Lo. You mentioned role players. Obviously, there's one star of that team. We have a couple of all stars from previous seasons on the team with Courtney and Kayla McBride. Who would you want to see there as someone else that could be like, okay, that's that needle mover,
They
like
need a
somebody to
big.
put a big, okay.
They need a big. Hey, the way Courtney hooping back, she done,
Hmm.
she has, she done moved up a notch. If she stay there and keep hooping like that,
Mm-hmm.
Courtney
no
Williams
cap.
done turned into a prime point guard. Like,
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
looking
She's,
like she have them moving. Like, they
she
look
has
so
turned
good with
up.
her on the court.
Yes,
Mid range,
yeah.
master. Like, man,
She
Courtney
has
Williams
blown
looks
up a notch.
good.
Yeah, she's really gone up a notch for sure, for
So
sure.
I'm looking. So yes, Bridget is under. She has one more year at 125. Courtney is under contract. Alana is under contract. Kate, damn, okay. K Mac is
Yeah,
under.
K-Mac get paid a lot. Way too
K Mac
much.
is
But
under contract, and Maisha will be an unrestricted free agent. It'll be interesting to see if they decide to keep her, especially with how quick she's come in and being able to mesh
I
with
think
them.
she should stay.
Yeah, yeah. Do you
you know who
think
I'm interested? I wouldn't be shocked if
Diamond?
they trade Diamond.
Yep.
I don't
Yeah,
think they have a choice for
I
Oh,
was
her.
they
just about to.
should. They should.
Yeah.
what
That's it's
happened?
over. It's
I was
over.
I
thinking about that
don't.
yesterday. I said I ain't seen her in a month of Sundays.
I think when she got injured, because she was playing a good bit before the injury, and I think when she got injured, they just started getting in a groove. Not because she
Yeah.
wasn't there, but they just started finding a groove, and they started turning into this machine, and there was just no place for her in the machine that they created. So they try to put her in sometimes, and Diamond be so sporadic. She just be like trying to go to the rim and throwing shit up, and the way their system works, everybody's so selfless, and that's not saying she's a selfish player, but everybody on the team is super selfless. They move the ball like to find the best shot. Like, I might have a good shot, but damn it, K-Mac over there, and she got a greater shot, and they move it, and it's just like Diamond, it kind of gets stuck in her hand sometimes, and so it don't work with what they have right now. So I wouldn't be shocked if they maybe, because she's still a great player to me, and I think she still has a place in this league. It just might not be in this Minnesota's offense.
So you
Yeah,
can see her
I
as
Gianna's
being
don't.
right.
someone that'll be up for protection.
She
I,
gets in, and she's like, I got to do this so that I can prove that I need to be in the rotation.
I don't like her game. I never have, so I'm not
We know,
surprised.
though. We know.
I
But
I
guess
can't.
who? Guess who she would help though?
No, she can't come down here with me.
No, not Atlanta, Indiana.
Oh, good. I don't care about that.
But like she just fell out of the rotation, and once you out of it, it's hard as hell to get back in, especially on a winning team.
Yeah, I don't. But I think she. I think what you're saying is that's how she plays. Don't nobody want that. She gotta do something different. That's why I didn't was never was in love with her game because it's very like, what are you doing? You
I
know
think
what I mean?
she should work with somebody like McCautry. Like, no jokes aside, somebody who can teach her you need to just be a small forward and not try to dribble and do all this
Yeah,
extra stuff.
it's too much. I can't like no shade to her. Like to her as a girly, like a girly, she cool, but her game has just always been so sporadic and just all over the place, and I don't see that working really for any team if she don't change that. It's
Mm-hmm.
oof, child, oof, oof. If she made me anxious when she went watch her play, I get
Like they
anxious
might
every
be able to
time.
trade her for like I don't know what their draft, where they are in the draft, but there's some nice forwards, centers coming out the draft. Maybe they can snatch an Ioka Lee or something later in the draft, because I guess it depends on how Ioka Lee season goes, but maybe they can snatch her, or maybe entice a taller player, maybe get a big from Dallas. Like if they can get like a walk or something from Dallas, that could be real nice, because the walk's pretty lengthy, long.
Oh yeah,
Or
I forgot
Stephanie
about a walk.
Suarez. Stephanie
Mm.
Suarez is kind of sitting on the bench for Dallas, another long, lengthy player. So maybe work out a trade with Dallas, see if you can get, cause I do think that Satu Loki might be out. So I think, they gonna need a little three. And maybe you can get Diamond over there and
I don't think
trade for a
Satu's
walk with
going
them.
to Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm just saying she's out in general.
Oh yeah,
So since she's
especially
gonna
after
be
the whole.
gone, they're gonna need somebody to fill her spot. So maybe, trade Diamond and get Diamond to play your three, and maybe you trade away one of them damn bigs you got, since they got so many.
Because I remember
What's the
after.
market for what's the market for Satu? Like, how do you? I don't know.
I
Listen, as a GM with
Oh,
a
if
with a cap space that is very tight, I would be a penny pincher in the W. Like people would talk shit about me if I was a GM in the W. They'd be like, Yana don't want to pay them girls nothing. That's ridiculous. She's a fucking hater. Like, y'all would hate me because I ain't spending a bag to nobody that ain't giving me Asia Wilson and fee stats. If you ain't consistent, you getting paid 100K. You go shut the fuck up and leave me
or
alone.
not
I
only
don't
the
care.
stats, not only the stats. If you only playing 25 games, 20 to 25 games a year, if that. Like if
I'm
I'm paying you all
saying
this money and you're missing 15 to 20 games, I don't know if I really want to invest that yet.
this league has a hard cap, and I think that sometimes, and it's great for the players. The players deserve to get paid. I'm just saying, as a GM, from the GM side of things, with a hard cap, sometimes the GMs put themselves in tough situations because they overpay on certain players. I think that was a Minnesota issue the last couple of years. They were overpaying on certain players, and now they got those crazy contracts off their books, and now they can build the way they want to. And there's a lot of other teams that kind of have that going on right now. Indiana spent damn near 200K, more than 200K on Erica Wheeler, and they've been stuck with that for the past 2 years or so. They just spent 180K on Katie Lou Samuelson, and she don't even play.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a lot of contracts out there that I be, scratching my head about. But for Satu, I'd be concerned about health, honestly. Like, great player. Can she stay healthy?
Okay. So moving on to game four of the opening day of the postseason, we had the Seattle Storm versus the Las Vegas Aces in a round or in a series that a lot of people thought would be very close or most predicted would be very close because the teams are, usually that 4 and 5 seed is always the a tighter matchup. So what did you like from that? I know Yana touched on a bit of it earlier, and then what did you not like from that game?
The first quarter was awful. That was like really, really bad. The first quarter I didn't like at all. But I kind of knew this game would be like a defensive matchup. Seattle, if they're going to win any games, it's going to have to rely on their defense. They're one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the league. And if they're gonna win, I think Shay tweeted it earlier. Jewel gotta show up. I know she's coming off of injury, so I don't know how much her injury is still bothering her. But even just this season before the injury, I think Jewel's been to me, she's the X factor for them. If Jewel is cooking, then they look like a different team. And this year, she's been off more than on.
Sorry, Yana, I gotta follow you up because you being a little nice about it. Jewel, the same way we talking about DG, Jewel gotta come to hell. Jewel, you got to be for real. You had a franchise. Do you know how rare it is for a franchise to regroup after 1 year and be like, we about to go get you not one, but 2 Hall of Famers to come be your supporting cast? Like, you gotta show up and hoop. This team is built for you. Like, I don't understand. Like, come on, dog. Like, you gotta come in here and knock some shots down. Skylar shouldn't be in there doing the Edward Scissorhands walk every goddamn day because she's mad at y'all because y'all not playing hard enough.
Skylar was hooping though. I mean,
Yeah.
I want to know how Skylar gets her hair from being like super slick to that messy bun that she have by the time the game start. Like, what's the routine for that? I like the messy bun. Messy bun Skylar's been on a tear, but she came into the game with a slick ass bun. Like it was slick and tight, and then by the time the game started, it was just
Oh yeah, she did, didn't she?
she
Cause
did.
I
And I
had
was
wet
like,
it.
now how it go from that to this?
It's so crazy though, cause it's so much hair and you can't tell how much it is when it's slicked back like that. But God, at least you got a lot of hair. But that when Becky subbed in them girls, I think it was like the second quarter, and they start turning up. That was perfect. Then when they switched to that zone, they was eating the girls up. It was perfect. Oh my gosh, it was so perfect. And Tiffany Hayes, I don't even have words for that lady. She be hooping.
The
She
most
be
acrobatic
hooping.
shots, the
Like
most
I'd be like, girl, what are you doing? No, no, no. Okay, okay,
same,
okay,
same.
She
okay.
play like Spider-Man. Like, what is you? Oh, all right, Bucky. Okay.
Yes. I'd be like, no, 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 no. Okay, 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 okay.
This will be
Like,
doing.
just be doing stuff. But when they,
So
go ahead.
with this, and this has been something maybe happening over probably the last 2-3 weeks of the season. We've seen the resurgence of one Chelsea Gray,
Ooh wee.
and especially that final week of the season, and then of course in this first game of the playoffs, she's looked like the Chelsea Gray from the finals in past years. How big is that of an impact for the Aces? That's
Huge.
defensive
Huge.
prowess, her offense, everything, and just her facilitating.
Huge. That's a point guard. That's everything. Like the way she get that damn pass she threw to Tiffany Hayes, the way she passes the ball, the way she calms them down, her own defense is missed. Like I don't think people account for her own defense. Her defense is missed. Like the way she gets her hands in there, like she kind of defends fours, kind of ish. The way she
Hmm.
gets her hands in there and strips passes or just takes them from people, she everything. Like not even just on offensive end, like her. And she was in a nasty bag last night. Like she just is the calm. If I got Chelsea Gray out there with me, so I got Chelsea Gray out there with me, and I got Asia. Ciao. That's why
And I
KP.
got Tip Spider-Man
That's
ass.
why KP be wild, and she be like, "Dad, figure it out." I'm good.
But
I'm good.
honestly, the resurgence of Chelsea with Tip playing well has lightened the fact that KP and Jackie are still coming along. And I think that's something that Vegas has struggled with to start the season, because it was really just, if Asia, Jackie, and KP don't show up, Godspeed. Like, if two of them don't show up, yeah, we just, you know, go to sleep early. It is what it is. But now that Chelsea's, you know, starting to become consistent in double figures, Tip's been on a tear. It allows the pressure off of Jackie and KP to be the ones that score all the time. Like, even yesterday, until like maybe the fourth quarter, but for the first three quarters, KP wasn't even like hunting for shots. It was like, okay, it ain't my night right now, but Tip's hooping. So let me get it to Tip. Let me set this off screen for Asia. Let me set this off screen for Jackie or Chelsea. Like, let me do this. Let me do that. And so before, because other players weren't stepping up either, you'd see KP like taking crazy
Forcing it.
shots because it was like, I gotta score because ain't nobody else scoring and we need somebody to score. But now that you got Chelsea and Tip kind of showing up, you can see that pressure being lifted off of them a bit. So hopefully those two will be able to get back in the flow of things now that it's not adamant that they score. But Chelsea being back has been, like, you know, starting to come into form at this time is perfect for Vegas.
And let's
I
also
like.
talk about
Oh, my
AC.
bad. I like Jackie. She wasn't hitting a lot of shots. She started taking it inside, and I think that was
Mm-hmm.
good. She kind of let it come to her. She wasn't forcing it. She just kind of like, oh, I'm gonna get in where I fit in, and I like that by Jackie.
I just, it is crazy to me that you assholes sat on here trying to strip Chelsea of a point guard title that you didn't give her, so you can't fucking take away, because someone over 30 with a major injury came back in the middle of the season and wasn't who y'all thought she was going to be. And now that she's had time to get in game shape and work on her body and get herself together, she looks like who the fuck we've been telling y'all she is. And I just can't believe that Ryan Rucco bald-headed ass got on there talking about some, well, this girl's the best guard in the goddamn playoffs. Like, who the fuck? Like, y'all be so quick to trying to kick down the OGs because you want somebody new at the top. Hell no. Chelsea was just saving that shit for when it fucking mattered.
Bingo.
Yeah, Ryan said that, and then in the first day of playoffs, it felt like every damn guard went the fuck off, but the one guard he talked about. And I said, wow, okay. Say it
Yeah.
again, because the girls were hooping yesterday.
Yeah.
Skylar was hooping. Skylar's been hooping. She's a constant for Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Um, NECA
That
was
was
hooping until they made that switch to double her. But Seattle only scoring 2 points and it being free throws in the fourth quarter that's some unheard of. Has that ever happened? Like,
Oh
I thought
no.
Vegas first quarter was bad, but only scoring 2 points in the fourth quarter, that's bad. And then NECA said in the presser,
I couldn't believe
and then,
that.
yeah, I was really shocked by
I
that. Like, he was
was
just like, I didn't say anything. I was silent. Like, what, did anybody
that
talk during the
that
timeout? Like,
that shocked me. I can't believe she admitted that. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah,
I
I was really
I
shocked by
couldn't believe.
that.
Yeah, I couldn't believe she said that because like
Like, I
Necklace.
know she said she was trying to catch her breath, but I'm just like, man,
Yeah,
like, y'all had this game in the palm of your hands, and this is the game you need to win. And it's slowly, you know, like, your energy starting to go down with every Chelsea Gray fadeaway or Tip Hayes shot. You know, you can see their heads starting to, like, their shoulders starting to slump a little bit more every time Vegas makes a shot and they miss one. And this is the time for, like, a vet to just step up and be like, no, like, let's go. We're not, this ain't finna happen this way. Like, we've been doing our thing this game. You've been knocking down shorts. Horston's been making some crazy shots. Mercedes Russell is knocking down some mid-range. Like, speak life into your players
Ah,
and be like, let's
Shala
go.
Sasa. Hey man.
yeah. I was surprised. I ain't gonna lie. That surprised the hell out of me that she was just that candid and was like, I didn't actually. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't say anything. Damn girl.
I wonder how much that applies to other parts. Never mind.
Like I could not believe she said that.
Yeah, I was really shocked by that.
And I mean, them running out of gas, I mean, they don't have no bench, and you really do you got to hoop to beat Vegas. You just do. I mean, I guess I get it, but dang. And Jewel can't be healthy because there's no way that you sit her like that long. If she's okay, cause I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna go down swinging with Jewel. She hasn't had a good season, but we gonna try it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So I feel like she couldn't
especially
have.
when you're struggling to score. Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna go on swinging. She couldn't have felt with like her. I don't know. I just feel like she can't be healthy. I don't know. I'm not playing her. No, come on now. I'll be out there and shoot that shit, Jewel. Before that, I don't know.
One person
yeah,
I love on that team other than Skylar is Jordy.
Oh, she been hooping.
I love
yeah,
watching her play.
she's
She has been
she's
hooping.
another energizer for them. Gets the rebounds. Like, she was everywhere, just doing the little things. Defensively, she's amazing. Uh, I like Jordan at Seattle. I really do. I think it's a perfect fit. And I kind of wish, low key, like, sometimes when I look at Seattle, as much as I love Gabby coming back to Seattle and coming back to the league, it sent Jordan to the bench. And a part of me is reminded of when Ezzy was hooping well for Seattle,
Mm-hmm.
and then they acquired Tina, and it
Mm-hmm.
sent Ezzy to the bench. And I felt like Seattle could never really get right after that. So I wasn't the biggest fan of Jordy being sent to the bench because I thought she found her groove, with the starting lineup. And I just think Seattle needed to figure out why they were defending so terribly. But I personally think that change kind of shifted some things too. But she still be hooping, so I guess that's good.
All right. And so earlier in that night, or earlier that day, at like the crack of dawn, according to Shay, Asia Wilson was presented with her third MVP trophy in 7 years. So and it was announced. I mean, not announced. I meant to say unanimous. It was unanimous. So,
Coda. Coda.
so with Asia being this year's MVP in a boy that worked that y'all got some names on
So you
y'all
got a name on you.
in a unanimous fashion. How do you feel?
Coda.
Um,
I don't want your tail on my
do you
face,
think
please.
that this rights the quote unquote wrong of last season?
No.
Do you think she still has more to
No.
prove and she's still going to take out those frustrations in route to a possible three-peat?
Well, she said don't ask her about it no more because she not frustrated. She let it go. She realized that she can't carry that. She just needed to do what she needed to do. But
The
I
rest
feel
of
like
us
she,
can.
yes, and will. So we can handle that for her. But I do still feel like she always feels like she has something to prove because I feel like even in this season, she was still kind of overshadowed. People still like, oh no, she shouldn't have won this. She shouldn't have done this. She shouldn't have done this. So I just feel like for black women in general, you always feel like you got something to prove. But I do still feel like she wants to be one of the best. She want her name etched in the history book. So she gonna hell or high water, she'll try to get it done.
And the first since the league has been in existence for 28 seasons, and she's the first to do it since the inaugural season of the W. So I think that people say, "Oh, well, it's easy to be unanimous." No, in
Who
28
said
seasons,
that?
I've seen some tweets. Oh, they just wanted her to have it, or I mean, it's unanimous. It's no big deal. In 28 years, there've only been two people to do it, so it's not something that just happens every other day.
And
Like,
that means 67 voters, half of them or more than half who don't really watch the games, had to all come in agreement and say that she's the MVP. Like,
mhm.
all 67. That's a pretty high number of people
Hmm.
to all vote for one person. So it's not that easy.
And I pose the question to you all, and it could be the cynic in me sometimes, and ask, with it being a unanimous vote and we've seen the conversation that has happened over the past couple weeks in regards to now trying to make it a closer race than what it possibly should be for Defensive Player of the Year. Do we think that that may have been done just to possibly slight her on getting her third consecutive depoy?
Nah, I don't think those two were. I think by saying that you would be saying she doesn't deserve it. And I think this season,
Okay.
Asia, like the season she put together, there was just no way you could give that MVP to anyone else. Like regardless of any other award that's out there or anything else that happened this season, Asia was far and ahead the MVP from the jump. The most consistent player, the most dominant player, and that, that's just that.
Period. What Yana
Mm-hmm.
said.
Okay.
She really didn't leave. She didn't leave anything to even be discussed. Really, if we keep it a buck, she didn't. You want nothing that you could talk about. It was her award. Period. That's why.
Like even on her off days, it was like double doubles, just
Yeah.
15 points, 12 rebounds. Like what? Like huh?
To go
Yeah,
along with 5 blocks,
yeah.
possibly. So
Like
yeah, I mean, Asia has. I mean, in her career now, if I don't think there's any other major award that she has yet to win, going back from high school to
most
college,
improved.
to, right? But
Well,
so
shit. Mine as well.
right, yeah. And I don't
Oh,
think
let
that they're
Dolores up.
oh, okay. I don't think that she'll win a sixth player of the year award unless maybe at towards the end she decides to, be that voice in the locker room.
I don't think she gonna
And I
go in for
don't think
that.
that she'll win a
Asia
most
retired
improved.
before that.
Right, and she's the type of player that that's my legacy. I'm retiring. I would feel like so. Like she's done it all. She like there aren't a lot of players that have done it all, and she's one that has really done it all internationally and domestically at all levels. And so she's just that great. And I remember in 2020 when she got the first one, and I was thinking that this could possibly be the first of maybe 4 or 5 MVPs. And god damn it, just a few years later, she's on her third, and she's still adding more to her bag. So it's quite a possibility that they may have to name that trophy after Asia. I used to say after, Lisa or Lauren Jackson or somebody or Swoops, but it could very well be named after Asia when it's all said and done.
I didn't want them to name shit after her. I just wanted to treat her with some respect.
I'm
That's
going to
fair.
say I done it all. Feel like shot it low. Laughing to the bank. The shit is not a joke. Say she got a problem. Imaginary scope. Bitch said it's done. Now put it in the motherfucking flow. Don't ever like that. Don't ever. How you deep out, but your homegirl's making your shit.
Dolores, you're going in and out, but it's funny though because I can hear the intensity.
Don't ever play with my girl like that. Let me fix it. One moment. Don't ever, ever. You hear me now?
Yes.
Bad
Yeah.
bitch. Don't ever. Like somebody said, bad games, bad bitch. Good games better than a bad bitch. Don't ever.
It's not better than a bad bitch.
Who is chopping down like that?
Huh? What y'all hear? I
Dolores.
can't hear anything.
He not saying nothing.
Oh,
Somebody
okay.
was, it sounded like someone was cranking up.
Oh no.
What
Mm-mm.
sister?
So, so we've spoken about the games. I'm gonna give you an opportunity to add your input onto the 4 games. Which was your favorite, and I guess what stood out to you out of all of the series so far?
I'm not going to take the low hanging fruit, but huh?
Nothing. I just laughed.
I'm not going to take the low hanging fruit because I could. But I thought the Phoenix and Minnesota matchup was really interesting and fun.
I remember saying this earlier in the year when we talking about Phoenix. I know that they have been shitty all year, but if they actually played seriously, they could give Minnesota some trimmers. And they did give Minnesota some trimmers. Um, but ultimately fizzle out just because no matter how much they tell us they like each other, they don't. It, the court says otherwise. So that game was really good. I really enjoyed, Martin Luther Cloud hooping. Kai played well in the second half. DT said, I ain't retired yet, ho. Um, Bridget Carlton probably should have won some award. Like, every time it's time to show the fuck up, she does. So, and for a league that loves to give out awards to people that had a breakout year, I think Bridget Carlton was probably most deserving, because she has just been that good this year. Courtney Williams I think Courtney needs more flowers in the league. I think she's found her way to make a team better every single team she's been on. She's been to several WNBA finals with Connecticut, was hooping in Chicago last year, and then looks like she has found her home in Minnesota out of her natural position, which is really dope. I really like that matchup. I really hope game 2 is just as good as game 1 was. But if BG would have came out and had that I want to be the bitch ass energy like she have against all the dark skinned black women,
Right.
out of nowhere, then we might have actually had a really close finish, but that's neither here nor there. Um, I thought Connecticut played like a team that's been there, done that. And I think just they they didn't take over the trap. It was their trap, but they smacked Indiana in the fucking mouth. Um, and yeah, in postseason, like one mistake that Indiana might have made and got over in the regular season, like you can't do that in the postseason. I think they learned a very valuable lesson that like you got to take every possession seriously. Um, and like really get the most out of every time you play. And I think they also realize that like if they don't lock up on defense or at least play more aggressive on defense, they will get run out the gym. Vegas, like the culmination, and you know what gag is? Like I was frustrated with Vegas in the first half, but this was the feeling I had with them last year. Like if they do what they need to do, keep it close enough, they gonna do what they need to do, close the game out and win the game. And that's literally exactly what they fucking did. Like watching them like lock in when Asia went out, I think that was second quarter. Tiff Hayes came in. It was an instant spark. Chelsea started to find her rhythm. Layshia Clark was locked in on both ends, making shots around the perimeter, making her three ball. That was just really encouraging to see. So then when Asia locked in the third quarter, it was like, yeah, it's over. And I know it was still close, but I knew it was over. Just because they was tired. Nneka was tired. Um, Big ups to Jordan Horston. I think she continues to surprise me in the league. Not that thought she was just going to be bad, but she's just taking on a different role. Because, I mean, she was more of a point guard, two guard in college. And now
And
she's
I
basically
think that
like a
was
wing.
bad.
It
I hated
was.
it.
It was.
I hated it.
So now that she's more in like that 3, sometimes 4 type spot, like I think it really serves her well, in the league. And making her jump shots was really refreshing to see. I think anytime you're trying to use Gabby Williams to win a game, you're going to lose. I'm sorry. Um, how she plays for France is not how she plays in America. That's no shade, no tea. But for Jewel Lloyd not to show up again in another big game and them to defer to Gabby was all I needed to see to know that that is a very unserious team. Um, and then New York and Atlanta.
Keep it
All I
pushing.
can say is
I'm
that
coming to the phone.
For Tanisha to not find a way to get that type of, even a fourth of that from LA this year is just poor coaching. Because it wasn't like she was doing skill type shit. Like she was just going up in there hustling, attacking the rim, rebounding, blocking shots. And for a team that doesn't rebound well, for a team that struggles with switching, and defending more athletic posts at the 4, type shit like that, clearly they got a player that can do it. They just didn't do it. So, Yeah, that's unfortunate. The team is an alpha. Go get it in the offseason.
I could be the alpha.
I heard you beat the block, but I'm like to keep the streets on. Okay.
Period.
And so now also, Dolores, we talked about the MVP. As always, we'll give you your 2 minutes. We couldn't really hear you the first time, so go ahead and say what you had to say about Asia and her award. Or maybe I
Well, let me start here because there's so many places I can start. I find it quite the fuck interesting that the WNBA can somehow take a big ass fucking moment, like a monumental ass fucking moment, and turn that shit into some, oh, she just does that. She's just that good. Like that of out of all this shit is what bothers me the most about this situation. And yes, y'all know I'm gonna scream down for my girl. I reposted every single thing. Whoop whoop. She's the MVP 3-time in unanimous, all that shit. Whoop. But this has been on my heart, and I'm glad I have the space to say it. And no, I'm going past 2 minutes, so fuck that. Um, y'all, nobody's done this shit. Like, and I don't mean just like the stats. I mean a full season, 39 games, 40 games worth of utter, absolute unfuck with ability. Utter, absolute, these bitches can't fuck with me. Then, not to mention, she took a motherfucking break from these bitches can't fuck with me and told every bitch from every other country outside the United States, these motherfuckers can't stop me. And for a league and all these people to continue to say the WNBA needs a star. The WNBA needs to be marketed. The WNBA needs to, expand into more audiences. To not be able to take someone playing at the highest level for the past 4 fucking seasons. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 fucking seasons to not be able to take that and use that as a launch pad to promote every fucking thing you want to promote in this league, this shit is not fucking serious. It's not. I don't give a damn what you like, what style of play you like. You can say Asia's not an interesting hooper. Well, you the same bitches that get on here and say, you need to score more points. Okay, she just scored 1,000 in the season. You the same bitch that need to say, she need to make a 3-ball. She did that. You the same bitch that say, she need to attack the rim. She does that. She's done every fucking thing that everybody has ever said she couldn't do. And you bitches still have found a way to turn it from, cause let's not forget, 3 years ago, every time ESPN wrote an article or somebody spoke about Asia, it was she needs to do this. Or she's just behind Stewie because of this. We had college coaches that wasn't shit until they went to another school to be a cheerleader, comment on this app talking about some, Asia's good, but she's not Stewie. Bitch, you've never coached neither one of them. Okay? We got motherfuckers on this app doing all this extra shit about Asia, and she's every single season surpassed that, gotten better. At 28 years old, 7 years in the league, and she's still getting better. And I have to turn on ESPN, or I got to get on this app and say, well, she's just gonna do that. That's Asia. That's some bullshit ass, gaslighting ass, white ass shit. All that shit is bullshit. All of it. Stewie was not the MVP last year. These bitches have not been able to fuck with her since she got out the bubble. So no, I think all of this shit, Kathy coming up in there with that motherfucking ass tablecloth ass suit on to give her the trophy, bullshit. The trophy, bullshit. Them not doing a counter for her 1,000 point, bullshit. Them not rolling out the motherfucking red carpet, bullshit. And Nike, I want you to come here. Look me in my goddamn eye. Fuck y'all. I don't give a damn if y'all got 17 things going on behind closed doors. I don't give a damn if y'all waiting. I don't give a damn if y'all gonna release some elaborate ass shit in 2025. This is 20 motherfucking 4. 2020 motherfucking 4. Asia has done a new shit, a new bad bitch shit every motherfucking week. So I expected some shit to drop every fucking week. Because if it was Caitlyn, if Caitlyn had this type of motherfucking season, y'all would have been proactive with the bullshit. So no, fuck it. I'm tired of waiting in line. I'm tired of, she's gonna get it. Just wait your turn. You know, we're letting it through. We're in the lab. It'll come out in 2025. Fuck y'all and your mom. Okay? Fuck y'all. Y'all did Allison Felix wrong. Fuck y'all. Okay? And I'm sick of it. I hate that in sports, we're at a point where two major companies, them Disney ass bitches and Nike ass, have such a monopoly over the sport of itself. To leave it feels like a downgrade, even though black people have been getting downgraded by these two motherfucking companies since its motherfucking inception. So no, when it comes to Asia, y'all didn't do enough. Y'all didn't celebrate enough. You didn't roll out the fucking red carpet enough. Also, my last point. Y'all love to come on this app and say, why aren't the players celebrating Caitlyn? Why aren't they doing this for Caitlyn? I can count on two motherfucking hands how many players said some shit to Asia publicly. And so for all this one band, one sound, we a league for black women, Stewie getting on, well, this is just not how we do it. We need to be more inclusive. Y'all bitches wasn't inclusive for Asia. It's giving very much hater ass bitches. Okay? Thank you. Good night.
Okay. All right. So,
Can I add a point?
yep, go ahead.
The whole, well, she may be you MVP, but it won't be unanimous. Like, yup. Do y'all understand how loser that shit sounded all year? Like, this is competitive sports. This is not your fucking job at work where you're like, oh, we all did good as a team. First is the best. That's it. We don't give a shit who got second place votes 3 years, 4 years from now. We don't give a damn. Talk about some goddamn, well, it won't be, but she won't get all of the votes and she got them anyway. So what the fuck happens now? It's unanimous. So what now? Dumb as hell. Like, y'all just, god damn, I wish y'all teams would win something so y'all could stop living in mediocrity. Shit.
No, I don't. Fuck them bitches. Nah, fuck that.
Okay. So we ran down we have discussed all four games from day one of the postseason. The playoffs will resume tomorrow night. We have two games tomorrow and then two games Wednesday. All of the home teams were able to secure the win. And let's see if any of these games go to a game three. Winner takes all. What are some of your predictions that you have for the next two games? Well, the next four games for each series. So
These,
starting
these are all away games, right? I'm not tripping, right?
these
No, they're
are
all still at home.
yeah,
They
they're
do
still home
two
for the
one.
higher
Oh, so
seeds.
it's two at home,
Mm-hmm.
like back to
Yeah.
back.
Yep, it's 2-1.
Oh, brother.
Okay, so that's going to take me to my next question too. Okay, so give me your predictions. Tomorrow we have Atlanta and New York, and Seattle and Vegas.
I
I
think
think
the two home teams win.
yeah. I think the top seed is gonna go through.
Okay, and then for Wednesday it's Phoenix at Minnesota, and then Connecticut home against Indiana.
I think the two home teams win.
I think Phoenix can get one.
DT might come out angry since Fee said she wanted to end her career on Wednesday.
I think it'll
So
be Kai. I've been impressed with Natasha Cloud as well. Just one game. Natasha Cloud had a really good game this last game. I will say that.
Okay. And so since this has been a topic of discussion because everybody's now an economist for the WNBA and talking about market share and revenue and income yada yada yada. Do we feel like with the sudden the sudden I guess surge of popularity and all the new eyes on the W and to prevent anything like this happening again, where it's 2-1, even though it's been that way since they removed the single elimination games because they were sending all their goats home after one game. Do we feel like it should be a 1-1-1 or extended to making the first round a best of five series and then the semifinals and finals best of seven? Or do we feel like you should just pull your panties up and actually win more games in order to get home court?
I have two thoughts. First of all, I saw a lot of people, especially men, commenting about the WNBA playoffs starting on a Sunday, that being an NFL day. First of all, one week y'all get on the app and tell us the WNBA is not profitable because they don't prop up Caitlyn. The next week y'all get on the app and tell us the WNBA is not profitable because they are trying to be competitors to the NFL. Well, two things. First thing, the WNBA is a professional sport, not a junior league, not a under league, not a sister league. It is a individual professional sport. There are billions of people on this motherfucking planet, and I can triple motherfucking dare you that not all them people like or watch football. That's part number one. Also, people can walk and chew gum at the same time. You want to know how I know? The Olympics took place on Peacock. My ass had on USA Network watching gymnastics and ABC Network watching swimming. Okay? We can walk and chew gum. We can put on two games at the same motherfucking time. That's that part. Okay? This part, to your question, B. I think now that the league is starting to expand into 15, the league one will need to have a longer season, which will also make it bleed into the NFL more, which is fine by me. But also I do think the playoffs should be longer. I think with 15 teams, if we're going to still do the 18 playoff, maybe we do a play-in round, somewhat similar to the men with the single elimination for the bottom four seeds, and then go to a 5-game series after that for all other teams, including the finals. Because I don't think with the players still going overseas, I don't think 7-game series is realistic. But I do think a 5-game series for the entirety of the playoffs would be dope.
Okay. So everyone gets at least a chance to have a game at home.
Yes.
Okay. Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
I
cool
don't.
with the 5-game series in the first round. Um, I do think that they need to add more roster spots, but I kind of want to see a 7-game series in the finals. Um, at least, because I do think the finals can go for a little bit longer. Uh, yeah, but I think 5 in the first round I think we're at a place where we could have 5 in the first round.
Go
Are
ahead,
we
Shay.
sure?
I think
Like
so.
that 1-8-2. Like, do we want
The
5 games of the
the
one
one
eight?
eight is always gonna be nasty, but I mean it's nasty in the NBA too.
I know. So okay.
But for the last couple of years, like 2-7 has been pretty good. Like when you think back to New York and Washington last year, I think if Washington had a chance to get one at home, they might have been able to get a game off of New York because those 2 games in New York were really close. And even now we got Minnesota and Phoenix, and that seems to be a good one. So I think 2-7's been good. 3-6. Indiana plays well at home, so if they were able to get a game at home, they might have been able to win. They might be able to win one or two, right? And 4-5, that's just the 4-5 matchup. So it's really just that 1-8 matchup, and yeah,
And so I think that you're right. So the longer seasons, I do think that because we've seen a lot of teams be impacted with injuries, so the expansions of is Lo trying to come back up?
yes, she said
Yeah,
let her up.
she got her hand. Yeah.
Oh, it's not showing for me. Hold on. So it's the expansions of rosters definitely make sense. Hopefully that's something that's addressed during the CBA. In addition, I do think that, because I know a lot of people have mentioned what purpose does it serve to have maybe 15 spots and you're still only playing 40 minutes. So of course I think that they would probably visit the idea of 48-minute quarters. I mean, Lord, not quarters, 48-minute games as well. But something that has floated around a lot was the W not really having its stamp on a holiday. Like, we have Thanksgiving for football, we have Christmas for basketball. Do we feel that? I mean, and I know we talked
Juneteenth is
about.
right fucking there, but Kathy is the
I know.
motherfucking
I was about to say,
commissioner.
it would have to take the league fully embracing the presence of Black women for Juneteenth. So if they decided not to do Juneteenth, we know that they're trying to
That like
gentrify.
Juneteenth could be so dope because literally that shit originated in Texas. They could literally do like a mini type. Everybody go to Texas and hoop. Like that shit would be so dope.
But knowing that they are trying to gentrify the league, it looks like the holiday, if that was a thing that they try to make their stamp on, would be 4th of July.
Or Labor Day, right?
No, that's too far. That's too far. Labor
And
Day
I
is
That's too
too
think
late.
they
late.
said Labor Day is like the start of college season or something like that.
Yeah,
Football.
that started. That yeah, that's college football. Labor Day, like
Oh,
Memorial Day, unless you're thinking about Memorial Day by accident. But yeah,
isn't when is National Women in Sports Day?
it's like in May, I think.
Um,
I wasn't up here for this, but I agree with Shay. Lay the first round at 3 games, baby. Don't nobody want to see that shit. Leave it. Keep it.
So what about 357?
I don't want no 7 game nothing. Too much. No. No.
Are you saying? Are you
I
speaking from being
also don't want
exhausted of
I
this
don't want
current
I don't
season?
want longer quarters either. I don't want longer quarters. I think the length of the W is perfect. The games are like the perfect length. I think they're entertaining for what they are. And let's just be honest, like women are not men.
That's
Okay.
true.
So I know people are thumbs downing, but women are not men. And in the same way that on tennis, women don't play 5 set matches, women should not have to play 48-minute quarters. I think it's stupid. Like, I mean, 48-minute games. Like, I think it's stupid. It doesn't really do anything to enhance the level of play. Cause let's be honest, the further you dig down into the bench, a lot of times the play level does decrease.
And
Okay.
that's a really
Um,
good point because niggas love to say that the scoring averages wasn't this, wasn't that, but they don't understand that they play way less minutes than the niggas do. So
bingo. So yeah, I personally don't want longer games. I think you can add more roster spots, keep the length of the games, and just develop the motherfucking team. But 48 is just a lot. And like, again, injuries, bodies are different. The W is a lot more physical than the men, and I want to stay more physical. So adding length just puts more wear and tear on people that don't need it.
Now, do we feel like because the W, okay, so I know you mentioned that as you get further in the bench, the
Wait.
quality of the product is maybe not as good as we would want. But like what the average rotation for a W team is about what, 7 to 8?
Yeah, average, yeah.
So in
That seemed like a lot.
the
Hell.
men's average is about what, 9 to 10 perhaps, maybe, or 8 to 10
Watch
Somebody
players.
them.
said
I don't watch them
Like
games
eight, nine,
enough.
but they go to 7 once to get money time.
But I
Right.
do think it's good enough to like you do need enough people on your bench to where if you want to rest your starters for a game or something like that, like you should be able to put your bench in and not.
I'm sorry, y'all. Somebody said in the comments there was no. Who did somebody say something about Stewie or somebody being silent?
Oh, pe- people don't listen. Listen, let me regurgitate. I said Kathy went to Stewie about the racist incident regarding the interview,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't hear a lot of other players reaching out to Asia after she won MVP.
Sis says, love Asia. However, the fiasco and disrespect showed to publicly towards Stewie after she won last year. I don't blame her. She's silent. Who is the her? Stewie? These was
Well,
no professionalism and grace. Professionalism from who? Nobody on the in the WNBA or her colleagues said anything to Stewie about it. It was fans. We don't owe nobody professionalism or grace. I'm confused. Okay, go ahead.
uh,
I'm
But
sorry.
and then but was
they're welcome to come to the stage once that time
because
yeah,
is
I'm
I see how
available.
this
confused.
is going
And
to be
then,
turned. Well, you all expect Caitlin's fans, or you want these type of such and such. So I don't think that, once again, as Lo and everyone has stressed earlier in our conversations, it was all basketball talk. So there was no one
correct.
disrespecting last year when Asia didn't get the MVP. No one was disrespecting Stewie. It was just that, well, wait.
I did. I said she wasn't. Well, let me say this. I said she wasn't the MVP, and I still
But
stand on
that's
that.
not
That's not
disrespect. That's
disrespect.
still
That's hoop. That's a hoops
Right.
comment based in stats and based on the history of the way the league has given out the MVP award. She was not the best player on the best team, and her stats were not significantly better than Asia's in order to warrant her being first. And based on the way the votes shook out, she did not get the most first place votes. AT did, but since two black women were going against each other, the white one was the deferred winner. Okay, thank
Right.
you.
And still, that wasn't a disrespectful conversation. It was a hoops conversation. So I think a lot of times we looked at or we've treated women's basketball specifically, women's sports with this kumbaya type thing that any type of criticism about the actual sport and the sport that they're playing is always met with, oh, you all are being disrespectful. No, it wasn't being
Okay, I
disrespectful.
missed it. Okay.
So yeah, like it's
But also Asia and the rest of the players did congratulate Stewie. Asia literally got on the interview and said, "That's no shade to Stewie or AT. I was just disrespected by the fourth place vote. I didn't mind not winning MVP." So again, listening, reading is fundamental. And since you did all that research to say who did and didn't disrespect, make sure you do the research to do. And to the point about why I brought it up was that these are the same players that like to stand on the we're a sisterhood. It's 144, one band, one sound. But my point is that when certain people get recognition, i.e., certain black women, other players don't always like that. That was my point. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I missed it. Okay.
very true. Okay. So we're before we end for the evening, we're going to open the floor for any questions. So if you the individual who asked, I can't see 'cause I'm cooking. If you all would like to come up to the stage and ask whatever questions that may be on your heart, govern yourselves accordingly and hit the button, and we will go through and bring you up one by one for any questions that you may have. Will there be one? Okay. Any other news that you all since while we're waiting for people to come up, since the W season has concluded, we have had an official retirement announcement for Layshia Clarendon. We wish them well in the next chapter of their life. What I guess what were some of your favorite moments of Layshia's career? I know Dolores in the past. Let me turn this one off. I'm sorry. I know in the past you have always mentioned that they'd be a really solid point guard, and they've had some exciting moments for teams like Atlanta, Indiana, and Atlanta, Connecticut, and Minnesota. So I guess, do you have any special favorite moments that you'd like to share in regards to Lager's career?
Ooh,
Anyone?
child. Let me do it.
I
No, I do not.
have
Um,
favorite moments, but I like their grit and I like the two-way player, right? Defends very well. Not super consistent on the offensive side, but still enough to where I can say that they did, they defended. And I like players that defend because I get so annoyed seeing people get scored on and they look around and they're just like, oh, fuck it, whatever. So I've always liked that. And that time that, them and Brittany Sykes almost got into it. That was a funny one. I enjoyed that.
they were in Minnesota, and the year's gonna fuck me up because the time started to run together. But I think they were like not officially on the team or were off of hardship.
Mm.
And I think there was like a game where Laser basically won the game for them. And it was like a really dope moment of just like, bitch, I told y'all I should have been on team type T. Maybe it had to be within the last 3 years because it wasn't
Was
COVID.
it
Maybe it's a year right
the
after.
bad year when they were
How,
trying to like fight for
yes,
that last spot?
yes, yes. Uh-huh. And they were cycling through players in the rotation. And Laser was just really
Oh
solid
yeah, and Angel was
for
on the
them. But it
roster.
was like a
Angel
really,
ended up getting let
yeah.
go. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. That's like if somebody knows what game I'm talking about or can find the stats, laser hooped. So that's probably my favorite game. But I agree with Yana about just the overall like the brand of player that Laser is. I think so many young hoopers could lock in and try to like if you want to be in the W, but you're not like high volume shooter. You're not if you lock in, have high IQ, can make the right plays, but you can defend your ass off, Layshia is the person you should study.
Go ahead, Shay.
This isn't basketball, but I think that a big part of her legacy is coming out as like non-binary and just kind of living her truth and not giving a shit what people say, because there was a lot of nasty comments on here, and I'm sure that she heard some in her personal life, and I just love that she was still like, hey, this is who I am, this is what I got going on, and I don't give a damn how y'all feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, for those of you that try it, she and her are appropriate
Yes.
pronouns. If you're not sure, you should check. She's already
Mm-hmm.
clarified that those pronouns do work
I was
for
waiting
her.
for that to come
Thank
up.
you. Yeah, so don't even try it. Let's clock it before we get there.
Okay. And this is a season where we will probably be expecting um other announcements. Not sure if or when, but as we know, the league, the majority of the people who got drafted in the single digit years, um, I think there are two. I think there are two left: DT and AC, and Dewana. Dewana's there too. So I think we probably have three left. So we're going to see what the next chapters of these careers look like. We're going to have a busy off season when it comes to free agency. And so, like it really, really enjoy the basketball that's being played in front of us, because we don't know when the last time we'll be able to, or we don't know when the last time will be that these players are able to grace our televisions with their game. So there were no hands raised for any questions. Go ahead, Yana.
I have one thing to say. I just want to let everyone know that Yana, did not vote for Kayla Thornton.
Dolores, did not
Was
either.
not me. I saw y'all was whacking the committee account, and deservedly so. Y'all was whacking their ass across the head in the comments. I said, child, I
This is a
but it
lesson
was not
in
me. It was not me. I
This is
got
a
so
lesson
burned.
in voter registration. Check your voter registration. Are you registered to vote? Did you submit your vote? Because your vote matters, okay?
And make sure you check your Excel spreadsheets before you submit your vote.
It was not I. I just wanted to put that out there. It was not me. But we are a democracy in the committee, and everybody vote matters. So, hey,
It was me. Who
And
gonna
we
pop
do
me?
shame. Oh,
Exactly.
brother.
Who gonna
I
pop
pressed
me?
the button. What the hell gonna happen now? Kayla's good, shit. And I'm gonna just say Leo.
Leonie,
Ooh,
goddamn.
Leo be starting. She'd have started half the season.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Well, we thank you all for tuning in today. Stay tuned, and go and sign up for your Click memberships. And yeah, the postseason resumes tomorrow with two exciting games, or two should be exciting games. We look forward to all the discourse online, and we're sure, with it being messy Monday, who knows, anything could still pop off tonight. So as always, thank you for listening, and thank us for speaking. Bye bye.